gossip or anything, but I do get in positions to hear things, you see. Well, rumor has it that Will Killam has teamed up with another outlaw, and he is coming to take revenge on good Marshal Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack, there's a man for you. Well, a few years ago, the Marshal was forced to send his very own brother to prison, and Will always vowed that he would come back and take revenge on him. I just don't know if the Marshal's got a big fight left in him or not. About the only help he's got that Deputy Jingles. He likes to hang around the bordello and offer his services. Yeah, well, we know what services he has to offer, and frankly, those are the ones that we couldn't do without. Well, I won't tarry any further, but please be warned. Today could be a very fateful day.
Now that gum deputy of mine, he ain't ever around when I need him. He's supposed to be in this jail cleaning themselves and making me some coffee. He's a little bitty ugly fella. You seen him? His name is Jim. You sure you ain't seen him? You lie to me. You sure you ain't seen him? You seen him? Where is he?
Hey, Marshal! I got a telegram for you. Just came in. They said you better read it fast, and it's really, really bad.
Everything with you is bad, Jingles.
Not every.
By the way, where have you been?
Well, I'll find you a ticket on the next stage out the winter.
Next stage out the Winters. What are you going to Winters for?
Going to the cousin's funeral.
Cousin's funeral.
Yeah, he fell and broke his neck.
Broke his neck. Didn't know you had a cousin. What did he do? Fall off the roof?
Oh, no, it wasn't nothing like that. It was more like, well, it's kind of a long story, but I'll give you the short version.
Good.
You see, he was building this vast cattle empire, and he borrowed some money from the Wells Fargo, and then he was sort of leading the investigation by the Texas Rangers, and they were doing an honor of him at the courthouse, and he fell off a platform and broke his neck.
So let me get this straight. Your cousin was rustling cattle, and then he got into robbing Wells Fargo stages and banks.
Say that.
The Texas Rangers caught up with him,
They did that.
took him to a platform and hung him.
Well, you can put it that way.
Well, I think that's exactly what happened. And you know what? You ain't going.
Oh, man.
Let me see if this telegraph says.
What'd you say, Jack?
Well, I tell you what, it ain't all that bad.
Well,
But
good.
you remember years ago when we caught that outlaw Will Killam? You remember he shot that stage up around Abilene?
Yeah.
Okay, we caught him up in Miss Hattie.
Oh,
Caught him in that Violet Run.
Yeah.
You know, we caught him in old Red Old Long John.
Yeah, had a big hole right in the back.
Well, he had him on backwards. That could be a big hole. Caught his boots over here, his gun was over there. Didn't have to shoot him, but we did catch him.
We did catch
You
him.
remember us putting him in jail?
Yeah, it was quite a sight to see.
Now,
That
you
was-
remember the trial?
Yeah, some of it.
Well, you don't remember much, but anyway, we did send him up. But something you didn't know.
What?
Old Will Killam's my brother.
You gotta be kidding.
He's my little brother. He's
Yeah.
been a thorn in my side ever since he was born. But I tell you what,
But what are we gonna do?
well, I don't know. Let me think about this. I didn't have, you know, it'd be just not very good if I had to shoot my own kids.
No, I
It's
was
bad luck, okay? Didn't have to shoot him when we caught him, but we did send him to jail.
Maybe we could do that again.
Let me read this telegram again. He's riding with a guy by the name of Swifty.
Swift.
You know anything about him?
Some slow guy named Swift.
Well, it must be, but I tell you what, if he's riding with Will, he's one bad hombre. I tell you what, let me think about this a minute.
You do that. You're good at thinking, Boss.
Yeah, I know I am. That's why I hired you.
Hey,
I tell you what, I can't put you up there. You get dizzy and fall off.
I don't do heights. You know that.
You don't do much of nothing.
I know you don't do heights.
Well, let me see. I can't put you behind these here good folks. You'd probably shoot 90% of them in the back.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. That right over there, she's too pretty. I wouldn't shoot her at all, Marshal.
That one right there?
Yeah, she bothered me.
Well, she's been winking at me for an hour.
That's what bothered me.
Well, it ought to bother me. I'll tell you what. I think I've got it.
What is it?
Well, when Will and I were little shapers, chasing chickens all over the place, tell you what, we used to play this game called Fast Draw. And I know my brother Will, I think I could get him to do that again. I've got a good idea. I always beat him.
I bet you
I'll tell you what, I want you to stand behind me.
What?
Stand behind me. Watch my back.
I got your back, Marshal.
See? How can you watch my back looking that way?
Well, if he comes this way, I
Turn around and back up. Okay, right there.
Right there.
Arm's length. This is kind of what I do. We used to do this game. We'd get out eyeball to eyeball. We'd stare at each other for a few minutes. I'd say win. When I say win, I draw and I always beat. I beat him every time. Got that? Make sure that swifty character don't get behind you. Let's do this again.
All right.
I ain't gonna do this much because that's getting hard to bend over. But I'm telling you, we get eyeball to eyeball.
Yeah.
And I say win. I draw and I get him every time. This time, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get eyeball to eyeball. I say win. I'm gonna jump to my left. You're gonna raise that pistol and you're gonna shoot it.
That's your best idea?
It's gonna work. He's gonna be looking at me.
But he's too fast for me.
You ain't gonna outdraw him. You're gonna have that pistol already by your side. You got me?
Maybe.
Well, let's do this one more time.
You're making me nervous.
Yeah, I'm making myself nervous with you behind me. All right. Go back to back. Eyeball to eyeball. You ready? Ho! And you shoot it.
Just like that.
Just like that.
I don't know.
Tell you what, let me see your gun.
I only got the one bullet.
Well, let me see.
It's shiny. I just got it.
Okay, put it in. You gonna make me waste a bullet? Yes. Now, I'm also gonna make you famous.
Famous.
Yes, sir. You're gonna kill one of the meanest outlaws in the whole West. You're gonna be famous for that.
Dang, I like
And
that.
I'll tell you what, on top of that,
Yeah?
I'm gonna give you a 10-cent raise a month, and I'm gonna make you the chief deputy.
10 cents a month. Wait a minute. How many deputies you got?
Well, right now one, but you're gonna be the chief.
Great.
Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to jail. We're gonna practice this.
That's probably real
I'm
good.
gonna make sure you get this right.
That's good.
The last thing I'm gonna tell you, if you get yourself shot and killed,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fire you. And do not shoot me in the back. You got it?
I'll do my best.
Let's go practice.
There's a big old cloud of dust over there on that horizon. Gotta be faster than horses. There ain't nothing comes to this town that fast but trouble. Got to be that old Will Killer and that stupid outlaw guy. You know, we were kind of sweet on this lady before he went to prison. I don't know if anybody's told her that he might be coming back. I better go warn her. Oh, Sadie. Here are you?
Oh, not trail, Swifty. Why don't we go over here and salute? You find anything before we get to doing that job we came here to do?
Drink sounds good. Well, you told
We
me.
knew for sure why we're here anyway. What kind of job are we going to do? You gonna rob the bank?
Yeah, we're gonna rob the bank, but before that, we got another job to do.
What kind of job are we going to do first?
Well, before we rob that bank, we're gonna kill my brother.
Will, why do you want to gun down your own brother?
You wanna know why I'm gonna gun down my own brother? You wanna know why I'm filling him full of lead? Because Because he's the dirty, rotten, stinking, low-down law dog that arrested me, threw me in that prison where I met you.
Well, how did he catch you anyway? As fast as you are?
Well, he caught me with bridges down.
He caught you with your bridges down. How did he do that?
Well, I was over there in this violence room up there.
Yeah.
I was just about to have my way with her when him and that little sawed-off dang deputy, they busted down the dang door. They grabbed me, they threw the cuffs on me, and they dragged me out of there before I could get to my boots and my gun and my hat. And worst of all, they took me away before I could have my way with this violence. And for that, I'm gonna kill me the Marshall Cactus Jack.
Your brother is Marshall Cactus Jack. The Marshall Cactus Jack? Oh, no. I've heard of him. How are we going to kill him? He's too fast and too mean. Why, they even say he's bulletproof.
Well, he is real fast. Yeah, he is real mean. But he ain't bulletproof. But we got to have a plan. It's got to be a real good plan. It's got to be a bulletproof plan. I got it.
Yeah?
I got it. It's a great plan. It's a wonderful plan. It's the best plan. You're going to do it.
Me?
Yeah.
You call that a good plan?
Yeah.
Do y'all call that a good plan?
Yeah.
I call that a futile plan. Mine. He's fast. Way too fast for me. Why can't you take him, Will?
Well, I can't you just go gun down my own brother, really. I mean, that'd be bad luck. Besides, I told you I had a plan. And in my plan, all you got to do is watch my back. And when the time comes, you get to shoot the marshals, and you're going to be famous as the man who killed Marshall Cactus Jack. Yeah.
So I just gotta watch your back and then just shoot it.
Yeah. When the time comes, you just step up and shoot him. Here, I
don't know about that.
Watch it. Well, I tell you what, let's practice it.
Practice?
Yeah, practice it. You get behind me, watch my back, all right?
Okay.
All right. When I say, I remember when my brother and I were kids, we'd get down there, face to face. We'd practice our fast jump. And when you got somebody to say when, and we'd draw. Same way here.
Okay.
He's gonna get down there and he's gonna say when. When he says when, I'm gonna jump out of the way. And you step up and shoot him.
Okay.
Yeah? You got it?
Okay.
All right, let's practice it. Wait a minute, what are you doing?
I'm looking at those buzzards circling.
Buzzards!
It's like they're coming in for a feast.
You're gonna meet those buzzards up real close and personal when they fly down here to peck your eyeballs out of your rotten carcass.
Okay,
Now,
I'll
pay
do it.
attention.
Okay.
All right. Watch my back. What are you doing?
I'm trying to watch your back, but you keep moving.
Here, see that X? Stand right there.
Okay.
All right, ready? Get back here. I'm gonna myself if you don't get back over here.
Okay.
All right. How many this time? You stand right there. I'm gonna say when, I'll jump out of the way and you step up.
Okay.
Ready? When?
Bang!
Oh man, you got it. That's perfect. You ain't never gonna know what's hit it. That hit it. You had that gun ready.
Yeah.
You had that gun ready. You'll be watching me. You know what? We famous. Real famous. So famous, it's gonna be real. All right? All right, come on. Let's talk about it. I'll buy you a drink.
Sounds good.
Sure enough, whole town's talking about it. That awful old Will Killam and that outlaw Swifty have come to take revenge on Marshall Cactus Jack. Oh, Marshall Cactus. It's hard been rumored to be bulletproof, but I just don't. You know, when I stop and think about the possibility of all of that gunfire and the loss of all of those good men, and Gunfire? Lots of good men. Ah! I better take cover.
Come on, Jingles, you practiced enough. I think you finally got it. I'm gonna go buy
Come
you a
on,
drink
Swifty,
before
let's
they
go. We
show
get
up.
to doing that job we came here to do.
Well, if it ain't my little brother Will.
Well, look at there, big brother, Cactus. Jack.
You know, Will, you ain't changed much. You're getting uglier than you've ever been in your life. And I got a question for you. You remember at your trial me telling you don't ever come to my town and I never wanted to see you again?
I thought I forgot that part there, Jack. But anyway, I'll come back to get you. You the one throw me that hole in the ground, your own brother.
Darn right, because you shot that stage up around Abilene. I told you not to do that no more.
Well, I needed some money.
You always need money. You always get it very nefariously. Whatever that word means.
But whatever it is, I don't like it.
Well, I heard it once. I'm telling you. Why did you come back here?
I told you I'd come back to get you, and I'd come back to get my darling Sunshine and take her away with me.
Darling Sunshine?
Yeah.
Sunshine's been my darling ever since we were kids. Why do you think she's your darling?
Well, I tell you what, Miss Sunshine kissed me behind the bar.
Really?
Yeah.
You probably stole that kiss like you've done everything in your rotten, stinking life.
No.
I'll tell you what, Will. She kissed me behind the barn. Kissed me in front of the barn. On both sides of the barn. In the barn. And if we could have got up there, she'd have kissed me on top of the barn.
Ah,
What do
you
you
lie
think
like
of
you
that?
always do, Jack. You just lie. Mama always liked you best, but you always lied about me.
Here we go, and Mama always liked you, Bill. Yeah. You know, you've been a rotten scoundrel ever since you was born, and she always took up for you. Always.
You always liked you best, but you always argue about it, because you argue about everything.
Well, you'd argue with fist folks.
Well, you'd argue with the turtle sitting on
That's
top
what
of
I'm
that.
talking about. You just argue.
Yeah.
What do you want to argue for?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Your mama liked you best anyway.
No, she liked you
She
best.
liked you best.
You.
Me.
You what I said, you.
Yeah.
Now, argument's over, right?
Yeah, let's get to it. What we came here to do.
It ain't pleasing me much. We're going to have to end this today.
Let's play that game we used to
Well, let's
play.
do it.
You
Let's
want to say when?
No, you say.
No, you say when.
Yep. Did he shoot you in the back?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You say when?
Win! Jingle, I told you not to get yourself shot and killed. You're fired!
Hey, I never did know you looked that good there. I'm sleeping your heart.
Okay, Will. I guess we're going to have to get this done.
What?
Well, why don't you just start the music? You know what? I'm out of ammo.
Me too. Hit.
I don't know. Are you hit, Will?
I don't feel any blood.
I don't feel any blood. You know what?
What?
I must be what they say I am. I must be bulletproof.
You must be. Me too. It must run in the family.
You know what, Will? I got nothing against you anymore. You've done your time.
Well, Jack, I really can't talk you just doing your job. You did it too well. You did it. You know what, Will? That's right.
I need a deputy.
When I'm inside again,
You won't be my deputy?
you must not get.
Come on, Will. Hey, old brother of mine. I'll tell you what. I'm going to buy you a drink.
No, I won't buy you a drink.
Here we go again. I'm buying.
I'm buying.
I'm buying.
Fine.
Marshall!
She's buying. I can't believe his partner tried to shoot him.
He wasn't a good shot.
Marshall, Cactus Jack! go see us sometime. We'd love to have you.
Places are haunted. We're not joking. They're haunted. And you guys are going to get to investigate with some of the best here tonight. Kristen and Mustafa. You guys have watched Ghost Hunters, right? You guys seen them in action. They've been to a lot of places. They're going to tell you a lot about what they've done and everything. We'll have them up here in a moment. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the histories of the places. I'm going to turn the mic over to my wife. Talk about our place a little bit. Then I'll talk about the jail. Then we'll have Jonathan tell you guys about what's going on in this place. They do a lot of antiques and stuff, and because of that, this place has a lot of activity, so he's going to throw a lot of mysterious stories at you.
Of the Old Park Hotel, and I'm proud to say I'm one of the better halves. And I love Dan. He's done a great job. We appreciate Jonathan and everybody that's come out here to help make this a one-of-a-kind event. And it's you who makes it possible to come out and share this with us. Let me go ahead and get you started by a little bit of the history of the town, which leads into the history of the hotel. It started back on June 29th, 1886. 3 railroads were merging, the Gulf, Santa Fe, and Colorado, and they were looking for a new town to be the county seat. Reynolds City was the original county seat, and they made a bid for it, and Reynolds City didn't act quick enough, and they didn't have the right water sources, so the town of Gresham, which was also Hutchins, became the new county seat of Ballinger, thanks to benefactor Judge William Pitt Ballinger. We have a lot of history that we're still learning about the hotel, but some of the things we know for sure. We do know that the original building was only 2 stories, just a house, was built in between 1886 and 1900. All we have on the deed history is to see that in 1900 that the concrete addition part of the hotel was added onto. In 1905, there was a horrible flood which wiped out a lot of records, so we're still in the process of learning everything we can about the hotel and the town and all of the haunted items. So in 1886, over 3,000 to 6,000 single white men showed up on the lot of the courthouse to try to purchase over half the town lots. And that day was big. There was many different accounts of it. Bill Miller, one of the architects of the original buildings, said there was around 3,000 people. There was another source that said 6,000, and I believe the newspaper said around 9,000. So it was a lot of people, and I can't imagine that many people sitting on the front lawn of the courthouse, right where that white gazebo now stands. There were many people that owned the hotel over the time. Some of the most prominent ones were the Seacrest family. We have records that show that they were there up until 1914. And before that, many owners. It was a town meeting house briefly. It was a schoolhouse. We found that information out from looking at an account from a book in the 1960s of a man that said that one of the first school buildings ever was across the street where the hotel Old Park now stands. So that's where we got the information about the school. We have information to show that it was a bordello at least twice. Between 1914 and 1922, 2 different bordellos. We know that because the Hill family moved in 1922, and when they were setting up, some ladies walked in, or not ladies, some men walked in asking where the ladies were. So that was an indicator to them that there was a bordello there before they got there. The 2 sets of previous owners before the Keel family took over were Mrs. Jack Roach, and she was owning the hotel about 1918, and then she sold it about a year later to Mrs. J.B. Rhodes and her son Dennis. So before that, we go back a little bit in time in the 1914s when the Seacrest family owned it. A family by the name of Washington Hampson Seacrest II. They moved down from Nebraska. His father, Washington Hampson Seacrest I, was actually a Texas Ranger, fought in the Civil War, was a Confederate soldier, survived, became a Texas Ranger, And he was one of the ones that originally brought in Santa Anna on handcuffs. Later, his son would move down from Nebraska and reclaim his family home, which is the Old Park Hotel. It was briefly the Seacrest Hotel. Later, it was called what was the name of the building? The Siegel Building. A man named George Siegel owned it, and he was pretty prominent in Ballinger. But the Seacrest family was renting it out, and later those buildings the building became the Royale Hotel, and then 6 months later, only 6 months later, they changed it to the Park Hotel. It wasn't until the courthouse was annexed that they added on the park, and they got rid of the old jail, that they changed it from the Park Hotel to the Old Park Complex, which gave us our name of Old Park Hotel. The Keel family purchased the place in 1922, and they owned the building off and on for over 5 generations, off and on. So I don't know how many of you have been to the antique store when she owned it, but it had a lot of antiques still left in there when we took over. So it had a lot of ghostly aspects to it. I'm sure Dan will tell you the story about the man that was in the hotel stopping through when it was the antique store. But basically, she had a large family. It started out with John Henry Keel and his wife Virginia Pruitt Keel. They had about 11 children. One or two died at childbirth. One was Alma. They had a son named Willie who was already older and had his whole family, so they moved to Winters and lived under a ranch. There was about 7 kids left over that moved into the hotel with their parents. They were Tex Pruitt. We have R.M. Rice Marriott Pruitt Keel. Then we had the 5 girls, Jenny, Helen, Iona, Gertrude, and Lola. It's Iona is the one we need to pay attention to. Iona had 1 child. Her name was Juanita. And Juanita only had 4 children, and one of them was Jeanette. And Jeanette is the owner that we purchased the hotel from when we got it. She took very good care of it. We lost her about a year ago, this summer. And her family legacy will always be a part of the hotel. The rooms will always be named after her, as well as the Seacrest family. And we even named our bedroom the LaFave Suite. We put an old-timey picture of us up there so people can remember us after we're long and dead and gone. But I'm sure Dan has some stories for you about... You want to talk about the Outlaws?
The Old Park in Ballinger, again, has a long history, and a lot of it's very notorious. If y'all look up Texas' most notorious outlaws, you just Google that, there's going to be 3 of them that come up on that website. Emmanuel Clements, Hardin? John Wesley Hardin, and Jim the Deacon Miller. He's very related. These guys were actually, even though they shared different last names, they all ran together in one of the most notorious gangs here in Texas. And we've done a lot of research on this, and other teams have done a lot of research. And basically, these guys were all married through family. They had married to sisters and married to cousins. So even though they shared different last names, these guys, they were like blood. You know, you took one out, basically the others would come gunning for you. And basically, these 3 outlaws, believe it or not, are associated with the Old Park Hotel and with Ballinger. We don't know exactly how to this day, but there is evidence leaning that they are in the Old Park Hotel. When you guys investigate tonight, you're probably going to run across Jim the Deacon Miller. He's one of the most notorious. Emmanuel Clements ran for office here in Ballinger in 1887 after years of doing stuff all across Texas. Basically, they killed a lot of people. Deacon basically was rumored to have killed 227 people in his lifetime. He carried a double-barrel shotgun that was his signature weapon. It's not hard to figure out when somebody blows you away with the double-barrel shotgun, and you constantly see that to figure out your victims were probably, he was behind it all. Basically, anybody know what Deacon stands for? Huh? Yes, there you go. This man ran 2 aliases. He went by Deacon because on Sundays he showed up to church. He ran with the good crowd on Sundays. He dressed up. He gave sermons in church all day long. When people weren't looking, he took on his other alias, and that was a gunslinger. Basically, he would put on a long trench coat, basically a duster, and he wore a steel plate across his chest because so many people were gunning for him to protect themselves against gunfire. This guy was really bad, and what happened was Manny Clements ran for office here. He obviously lost. A few weeks after that, the marshal came gunning for him because they found him. Back then, it took a little time for communication to get around, but they figured out that he was here. And they actually had a gunfight one street over from the Old Park Hotel in the Alamo Saloon. And basically, Manny Clements went for his weapon at the bar. Marshall drew first, shot him in the left eye, and killed him right there on the spot, went straight down. 5 weeks later after that, guess what? The marshal was blown away by a double-barrel shotgun by a mysterious assailant. Jim the Deacon Miller was right behind it, basically. They called him Killer Miller. Some called him Psycho because he was pretty crazy. We have pictures of him in the hotel. You guys are going to see the way he looked when he dressed up. You're also going to see the way he did when he probably came out of an alley and took you out with that double-barrel shotgun. Numerous people have pinned him inside the hotel. We don't know exactly why they were there. We're thinking it was probably the brothel action or something else. Because back in the day, it's rumored Ballinger, as peaceful as it looks, had as many as 13 saloons and probably 3 brothels in town, us being one of them. Basically, present times hits back on the past. You guys are also going to investigate the 1925 Old Runnels Jail today. Not too many people have been in that jail. We've only held a few events. We're working with the judge in town. We're trying to get it more open for more people. So you guys are actually very privileged to go inside that jail tonight. That jail has actually held Bonnie Parker, guys. You heard of Bonnie and Clyde? She's actually served time in that jail before she met Clyde. We also have association with Bonnie and Clyde at the Old Park Hotel, believe it or not. You all know she was born about 7 miles that direction. She's from this area. Basically, Rowena, Texas. She came through this area a lot. Even though she met Clyde in Dallas later on and did their notorious stuff, they ran a lot of history here. Right after we bought the Old Park Hotel, we used to leave our front door open, and we were meeting everybody 6 years ago. A 95-year-old man walked through our door one day, and he was basically bent over. We didn't know what he was going to say. He basically straightened up in our lobby as we were watching him. He looked around. He started pointing at everything on our wall and started saying, "That looks just like it did when I worked here as a boy in the 30s. We're just watching this man basically tell us about our old building because he used to work there as a teenage boy. Before we could change the subject onto anything else, he turns around and he points outside the door and he goes, "I remember the day I shook Bonnie and Clyde's hand right outside here." And basically he said they were in town all the time. Elders in Ballinger also remember Bonnie and Clyde being in town. We think they're in the hotel also. We think they used one of our upper bedrooms. Psychics are telling us a lot of things. We're still trying to pin a lot of that together. You guys again are going to investigate the hotel. You're going to go into the jail. Some of y'all out here have been in the jail. You know what goes on in there. One of the freakiest things, it's what, about 100 degrees today? We could walk inside that jail. There's no electricity. There's no air conditioning. Later on, I'm going to talk to some of y'all and see what you feel. There's a cold sensation that comes upon you when you're inside the jail. And it's a good day to feel that out because it's pretty darn hot out here. We're probably going to welcome the ghosts tonight because they bring cold spots. We get them in the hotel too. So I say everybody needs to call them out. Jonathan, where are you at? You need to tell a few things about this place.
Yes, and then maybe we can introduce Mustafa.
Yeah, and then we're going to bring Mustafa and Kristen up here.
This is the beginning of what we're going to have in Old West Theme Park that it starts coming in July. This is 6 of 22 planned Old West buildings that you guys are sitting in the middle of right now. A little bit about Kelly and I. We started the antique business a little over 3 years ago. We purchased this property. We were going to do antiques, and then we realized people like to look at this old stuff and not buy it. So we're going to build a place for people to come to and actually get to experience this old stuff hand for hand. Eventually, in the next 2 years, comes behind us is 9 acres. There will be 10 experienced stay houses from the 1880s to the 1930s. That means you'll be able to stay in an actual house that's got everything from the 1880s. So you'll be cooking with wood, and you'll be using oil lamps. You'll be doing everything from that time period all the way up to the 1930s. So this building behind y'all here, there will be a 6,400 square foot restaurant and bar, along with several other things, and we're putting in that second warehouse a 10,000 square foot mini amusement park for kids. So that'll be an indoor thing as well. That comes after July. Now I'll tell you a little bit about the history. Kelly and I have seen a lot of things. We have some of our pieces we have on display in this third building. You guys are welcome to go in there and look at as you investigate as well. Dan bought a few of his. One of them is a brass hall tree from the Civil War. We've seen a soldier in that thing several times. Miss Kelly, wherever she's at, has sat in her office and seen him several times. Freak us out enough that you think somebody else is in the building with you and you gotta go. So I hope y'all get to experience some of the things we've seen. I've had doors slammed on me. I've had glass knocked off shelves. We've had all kinds of stuff here. It's where we're sitting is we've worked this ground. We've dug up so many paleo tools, you guys wouldn't believe it. So just piles and piles of them. This was the grounds that the Indians actually farmed on, close to the river here. They'd go down and get their water and bring up, and we have found tons of rocks and tools. So there's a lot of history on this place, a lot of things that nobody can explain. Never has anybody investigated here before tonight. It's the first time. Several people have asked me, I've never let them. So I decided that we would let y'all do it this first time here and get to see. We have seen a lot of things at this place, and I hope you guys get to experience it as well. We had a guy that was working for us about 2.5 years ago that died suddenly. It's believed that he's here because he's responded several times, and just the attitude and the things that have happened at the certain times. I believe Bill's here, so if you guys look for somebody, you can look for him as well. And you'll find lots of different things here. Put the hall tree in this third warehouse. There's also a doll in there that's inside of a glass box that the lady we got it from said, whatever you do, don't ever take her out of the glass box. There's a note in there that explains it. We've never been brave enough to open the glass box, so we prefer she stays in that glass box as well. You'll see her. There's a mourning wreath from the 1800s in there. We've had some experiences with that and several other things. So we welcome y'all to explore here all you want. We will allow you to go through the buildings. There's stuff everywhere, out here, inside, wherever you want to go. And I guess now we're going to turn it over to our stars. Come on up here. Everybody's been waiting for this handsome man. I've seen all the ladies go, ooh, the whole time he's been walking around. So let's get him up here on the stage. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the Old West skit. You guys come back and see us.
I mean, we're all turning into raisins in the sun over here, so I'm not going to keep it all out here too long. But this reminds me, last time Kristen and I, we were in Texas, we filmed at the Worley Hospital in Pampa. And we became severely dehydrated. It was like 113 at like the peak of it, and it was humid. It was like, part of my French, it was like Satan's butthole, man. It was very, very disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm very vulgar. I apologize. I'm trying to tone it down. I'm from New Jersey, so thank you for welcoming me here. There's something about that I noticed on Ghost Hunters is that, like, something about doing these events, I noticed, like, everybody's really gung-ho, and then once it starts getting like 10:30, everyone's like, ugh. And that's like when our filming, we've been filming for like 6 hours, and that's when the second wind comes up. And the one thing that I noticed about ghost hunts or like investigations is that if you persevere, nothing going on. So who's paranormally investigated here before? Who's been on ghost hunts? Yeah. So 99% of the time, you're getting nothing. It's like basically me swiping through Tinder. It's like there's no responses at all whatsoever. And then the one person that is, they're psychotic. And then I have to tell them that I'm married. Joking, I'm just joking. I'm joking. That was before. So if you can persevere that of nothing happening or extenuating circumstances, stuff on set, drama, yes, it happens. I feel like a lot of the drama between cast members should have been in the show. I like it. It's like below deck. Like, you know what I mean? It's nice. Like, let's get it. Give me the drama. I want to eat it. Like, manja. That's if you can persevere that and really, really, really fight to have a good time. And by a good time, I don't mean like laughing around like me like a total idiot. I mean like really trying to have some type of honest reaction to what's going on. And sometimes that honest reaction can literally start as be like, there's nothing going on here. I don't freaking think this place is haunted. And don't be disrespectful and be like, you're a ghost, and like start like pretending to be ghosts, like, boo, and like, making fart noises. That's like, that's like my go-to is being very childish. Like, I just like, whenever I get in an argument with my wife, she'll be like, why did you do this? Why did you do this? like 36, I can't be doing that, but I'll never learn. But I think when you're in the investigation, persevering that boredom and really just trying different angles, that's when you get your most stuff. And Brandon and I from the show, we just finished filming a new series called Haunted Discoveries. First 8 episodes in the can, it's done. So yeah, we're like talking with different networks and stuff, and one of them, big one, they wanted us to change the show. I was like, absolutely not. Like, you know, we're not gonna make it like, no offense, I just don't want to make it like Paranormal Caught on Camera. It's a great show, but I'm not trying to make TV for people who were dropped on their heads when they were born. So like, I'm just joking. That's a mean thing to say. That's a mean thing to say. But like, you know, that's like, we have a specific kind of series that we wanted to make. So like, yeah. So it's gonna come out. We'll get it released for you guys. All the episodes are done. But we caught some major stuff, and that only happened because we had that nervous energy, because we decided to really make the show that we wanted to make and that we believed in. And I don't know, something happened where like I was blown away because I didn't think we were getting anything. I was like, how the hell do these people give us money to make a show? I'm like, all right, let me just pretend I'm a producer. And like, I went and I did it, and it ended up being great. So again, won't keep you out here too long. I could literally talk for 9 hours straight and I will never get bored. But let's get some ghost hunting in. We can share war stories and stuff when there will be lulls, and I promise you there will be. But let's liven it up the best way we can, and that's the best way we get activity. That's the one thing that I've noticed in my, 500 plus cases now. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for persevering the sun. And thank you for persevering my bad personality. I really appreciate that. Here's the lovely, luminous Kristen Lumen. You have to refer to her as Luminous. She'll get very offended. She says she doesn't. Don't believe her. She's getting mad.
Thank you. I never like following Mustafa because a bunch of laughter and then the crowd goes silent. But like, don't be funny this time, please. Which is asking the sun not to shine. So there you go. I'm Kristen Lumen. I was on Ghost Hunters with Mustafa for the reboot. I also guest starred on the original Ghost Hunters and was on a show called Behind the Screams that talked about how they turned real life stories into blockbuster hits, and I kind of hosted and talked about how what might be going on in the mind of the paranormal witness that this really happened to. And then also I was on a show called Ghost Mine. Ghost Mine! Which most people still, you know, they refer to me from Ghost Mine. It's like I wasn't on Ghost Hunters, but I mean, it's wonderful. I love Ghost Mine. So spent 2 summers in a mine, had to use self-hypnosis on myself to even get myself in there. And that's what I do for my day job. I'm a hypnotherapist. For those of you, I don't know how they're separating the group right now, but for those of you who will be in my group, I do offer a quick little guided meditation, guided imagery meditation, or a little hypnosis session right before we investigate, just to make ourselves safely more accessible. You can participate if you want to, you don't have to. Just a really nice, relaxing little hypnosis / guided imagery meditation. I used to teach guided imagery meditation too at a place called Unplug, and really it was just hypnosis, it was hypnotherapy, I was hypnotizing everybody, but meditation and hypnosis are very similar. So to make people feel better, sometimes we just call it meditation. So I'll be guiding people tonight. Mustafa gave a little tidbit about investigating, so I feel like I should too. Another thing that I noticed while we're investigating, and when we get really serious and we're asking the questions in an EVP session perhaps, a lot of times we will get an actual voice recorded when we aren't in the investigation necessarily, when we're just kind of talking or laughing with each other back and forth. It's really interesting, and I do believe, and I talk about this a lot, about the energy that we put out is what we attract. That's not pseudoscience. We feel it when we're next to somebody who's nervous or anxious. We can feel that, and you notice you start to feel that tension. And so I believe the same thing is going on during an investigation, sort of what you put out is attract. And I notice that when we are just kind of having a good time, or maybe a little bit more lighthearted, or even talking about our own personal stories, a lot of times that's when we'll get a voice, or someone might be chiming in, which I think is the greatest compliment, when you have somebody think about the work they had to do to possibly get a voiceover from beyond the grave. So I think that's pretty amazing. So that's just something, you know, even in the downtime, you never know what you're gonna get. So it'll be exciting tonight to see what we get, and I'm looking forward to taking people out and those who want to be a part of the little hypnosis session as well. So thank you so much for being here, and we're just gonna have fun tonight. Mustafa's really fun. I feel like he brings out more of the fun. I can't even investigate with him because they actually tried putting us together at the beginning of Ghost Hunters, and I just giggled the whole entire time.
I was too good.
He was way too good. And they were like, we're never pairing you two up again. I couldn't get anything done with it. I was just laughed the whole time. So hopefully we will be separated tonight. We might be together, we might be separated, but we will get through the investigation. Thank you guys. It'll be fun tonight. Thank you.
Right.
Now what do we do?
Dan, what's the plan?
Have initially. We're gonna start out here. We're gonna go till sunset before everybody heads on over to the old park and the jail. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna split everybody into 4 groups because we have a pretty good number here, and I think that's gonna end up with about 12, 13. All right, just walk them around in here. Do your thing.
Yeah, that hit me like a brick wall.
It did. There's a lot of energy in here.
Yeah.
So let it
Like,
this is heavy.
okay,
in
I'll
here.
step back for a second.
All right, so has everybody that's in this group been on a paranormal investigation, or is there anybody that's new, is this their first one? Ghost love newbies. I know that sounds horrible, like, you know, playing the Xbox game with like my boys always, you freaking newbie. But you will probably, you'll have some experiences tonight, and if you're a skeptic, a believer, halfway in between. From what I've heard, I've never been here. This is my first time ever being here, and first time at Old Park. It'll be the first time at Old Runnels Jail for me. I'm from Virginia, even though I can sound like I'm from here because I'm so southern sounding. But it's going to be, from what I've heard and everybody's told me, it's going to be a good evening. It's going to be a really good night. So, if y'all have any equipment of your own, feel free to set it up wherever you feel like you want to. What I like to do is I like to do burst sessions. So what burst sessions are is it's a 2 to 3 minute voice recording. We'll each ask questions, wait 10 to 15 seconds before your next question to see if we get answers, and then we'll listen back live to see if we hear any voices. If you hear anything, if you hear a noise, if you hear it, say it. You know, because it could be something other. We all know everybody's bodies make noises. So if you make a noise, just tag yourself, so we don't think it's something, you know, paranormal. Also, make sure your phone is on airplane mode, because it can mess with the equipment. If your phone isn't on airplane mode, it'll make the equipment go off, and it'll make a false reading. So I don't even know if I put mine on airplane mode. I'm telling you how to do it. So.
Kelly, you are here. I don't know if you are.
Of course, it's not going to. See, it'll make it go off. So just make sure your phone's on airplane mode, please. Thank y'all for coming. Also, by the way, we really appreciate y'all coming out. And let's get this show on the road. So we'll start off, I guess, with the birth session first, or would y'all like to kind of walk around and feel, just kind of listen? It's up to y'all. This is y'all's investigation. Y'all paid the money to be here.
Just maybe walk around.
Okay, y'all walk around. I'll set up my equipment at different spots. And
Brother, what's your name, man?
Ron.
Ron is going to be the
Jeremy.
first one, and Jeremy. They're going to be
Jonathan, do we have your permission?
Okay, let's do it. Let's open it up. Okay, set the glass down gingerly. Well, let's see what that note says. Oh my god. I told you it's a bill.
Nope.
Whoa, it's a creepy letter.
The flat top hairstyle dated it in the 1860s.
Ew.
China heads made with something hair, hand paste or soft paste. The ones movable, something soft. Last show signs of wear. Hairline cracks. Doll that are unmarked are the oldest, as we were getting them before started making them.
Don't touch.
China heads made after 1898 will have Germany marked on it.
Okay.
So, hold that.
Let's see if it's Germany on. No, be careful, be careful. Oh man, come on. We're like these kids here. What is it? We just did. Alright, just leave it. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
We're still reading it. It's probably buried.
Yeah,
Look at it.
It's 0.6.
Yeah, oh, it
The
went
cell
up
phone-
when we started touching it.
Oh,
Her cell phone.
Cell phones.
Cell
The black-headed dolls outnumbered the blonde, as the Germans are blonde. The blondes, the headed and liked black hair the best. China heads were made in continental Europe, chiefly in Germany. The industry has centered around the cities Summenberg and Newburgh. We stopped all shipments from Germany prior to World War II. Their factories were bombed and their facilities made army dolls since. Never made any more dolls.
Since. So these are the last of them.
This was the last of them.
So we got
From-
one of the last of the.
From the dolls that were,
Well, they're supposed to.
Make sure no one can ever read it.
there's no markings.
No marking? No. We got permission to open the doll cage, so sorry if anybody gets possessed. Insurance doesn't cover that though, so you're on your own.
Hey, we have my stage up front, I'm okay.
So, someone got a camera to take a picture of this for,
I do. Can you believe this? My dad.
Handwritten note.
Yes, it is a handwritten note.
Okay.
Listen.
I got. Ooh, Lynn, I told you. 1800.
Can I get a picture?
We opened it.
Take a picture.
It's just the last of its kind. It could be
from a factory that was bombed in World War II.
Sorry, I thought you were my daughter.
18 what? Dad,
Yes, Jonathan, we and Kristen.
gonna say, let's sneak in after hours and get back to
Hey, we actually got permission from Jonathan to open it.
I'm not gonna.
Yes. and I am shaking literally from the energy. This has been at a 0.1 to 0.5.
Sir, can he take a picture?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, perfect.
And they said the dolls, these dolls that weren't the markings, are the oldest from the 1860s. And the person traveled all over Germany and got the last of the dolls before it was bombed.
There's been like reaction.
I've asked if they want me to leave, to not, let me know.
We have a device here that you can communicate with us through. It's that orange box. You can see it won't harm you. Look. Touch it, you breathe in it. Go set those lights off. If you want to answer yes to any of our questions, if you can interact with that box, that'll let us know the answer is yes. So is there somebody here who's willing to talk to us? I count 4 people in this room. If there's more than that, and someone's willing to talk to us, please interact with that box. My friends here think they felt you or they saw you. It takes time. I'm going to walk around. Sometimes it's good to disperse the energy and have people move around.
Gotcha. there anyone in here that would like to talk to me? My name is Julie.
No, I've been hearing some noises, but I think it's coming from upstairs. Breathing in. Is there anyone in here? If there's anyone in here, can you make a sound so that I can know you're in here? Please and thank you. I'm willing to listen if you'd like to share your story. If that was you, can you make that sound again, please? That's a couple talking outside the room. Oops. That was my water. So this is Michael inside the Psychomantium at Old Park Hotel. Do you have anything you wish to show me? Is there anything you wish to say? Is there anybody in here with me? Okay, I think that was someone's app. This is Michael in the Psychomantium with the light on. If there's anyone in here with me, you are free to show yourself. Okay, I'm going to call it. Thank you for all the spirits that came and for everything you've shown me.
They were gonna do one. You missed all the fun. It was pretty cool. What was it? Just all the things that William said. I recorded it on.
Okay, good. Good.
All right. We're doing it a little bit different here. We're in another room.
I remember seeing the doll
So
look like
here
this
with us.
before.
Big. No.
I know I'm fat.
Yeah.
No. You saw someone walking around with the orange EI?
I know I'm fat.
Shush.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was you asking.
Do you want to talk to a female?
Ass. No. Big male. Beanie.
Does anyone have a beanie on?
Not that I know. I got a bandana on.
Off. Female.
Did you see that?
Off. Female.
That involves
Really cool.
all females.
He's saying female voice.
Oh, gotcha.
So he's saying the first word, then female or male.
My, the K2 meter went up to 2.
Holy smokes,
The
yeah?
last two, the last question.
Really?
Yeah, plenty to address.
This is a pretty good group, huh?
Right here. You see that? It's up to 3 almost.
Do you want them out of the bathroom?
Should remember this group. If y'all ever do like
On,
a mass
male.
investigation again, you should do it. Remember this.
Say that
people.
again?
Sorry.
I have there's something standing, there's something lying on the floor.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I have a 3 on, I have a,
It could be the wiring in the floor.
maybe, yeah.
It's constant like that.
Are you, look?
That's the mannequin.
It's right
That's
here too, it's right here, when I had it right here. you know.
that's the mannequin. That
Female
moves.
just moaned.
Female just moan, huh?
She saw you coming.
You saw me coming in the room. That's right.
No, she.
Why are you moaning?
Yeah, if you see that,
What happened to you?
something about the ground. Could be like. See, it ain't the dress, but it's probably just wiring.
I had it sitting right.
I don't think you see it.
Off. Female.
Did you see that in the tree right there?
Yeah, but this is more accurate. Good to know.
Thank you.